It is a well-known and established fact that marriage is a divine institution ordained by God himself as the fulcrum of all other relationships. Friends, Satan, being cognizant of the divine purposes of God for our life in marriage, sought to circumvent these divine purposes through the threefold subtle philosophies of moral relativism, moving on, and baby mama, baby daddy. Satan's first target was the God-instituted structure of authority with husband as the head, as illustrated by Apostle Paul in his epistle to the Ephesians, chapter number 5, verse 22 to 23. He says, "Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. For husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, in which he is the Savior." Friends, allow me to submit to us that submission is not dictatorial, but mutual. As long as the husband is able to perform his divinely ordained responsibility of loving their wives, submission will always be mutual. On this front, the devil sought to destroy the structure of authority in the families by introducing a subtle philosophy of moral relativism disguised as empowerment, which is the belief that there are no moral absolutes or principle, and everyone does as he sees fit in their own eyes. This was meant to bring lawlessness, conflicts, rebellion, hostility, violence, and disorder in the families. This is exemplified in the book of Judges, chapter number 17 and verse 6. It says, "In those days, Israel had no king, and everyone did as he saw fit." Friends, I want us to understand that without the structure of authority, there will always be lawlessness. There will be always conflicts. There will be always competitions. There will be always massacres. There will be always destruction in families. The people of Israel had God as their king, but they rebelled against him and they rejected him. And so Israelites became lawless. That is why Jesus Christ himself warns us in Mark chapter number 5 and verse 23. He says, "If a house is divided against itself, that house will never stand." Friends, it is true, the pillars of marriage has been destroyed. Just as Psalmist declares in Psalms number 11 and verse 3, when foundations are being destroyed, what can a righteous man do? Friends, when we see our parents divorcing after 60 years, 50 years, 30 years, 40 years, when we witness our friends divorcing, our sibling separating, our neighbors divorcing and separating, what can we who have faith in marriage, we who intend to marry or to be married, what can we do? The answer to this question lies with no one except God himself, as he proclaims in Psalms number 75, verse 3. He declares, when the earth and its people quake, it is I who holds firm its pillars. That when we see the pillars of marriages being destroyed, the foundation of marriages being destroyed, when we go through challenges, when we go through various challenges in our relationships, when we witness how people are massacring one another, killing one another, murdering one another, what can we do? God says, don't worry, I am there to hold your marital pillars in their place. That we still have help. We should not succumb to moral relativism philosophy. We should not succumb to moving on philosophy. We should not succumb to baby mama, baby daddy philosophy.